Advanced energy technologies. So, what is advanced energy technologies? Advanced energy technologies means an innovative technology that produce energy from solar, wind, geothermal, biomass, tidal wave, ocean, or other renewable energy resources that produce nuclear energy from carbon capture and sequestration. The enable advanced vehicle components are related technologies that result in significant energy savings that generates, transmits, distribute uses or store energy from efficiently than conventional technologies, including through smart grid technologies or that enhance the energy independence and security of the United States by enabling improved or expanded supply and production of domestic energy resources, including coal, oil, and natural gas. So, applying the advanced energy technologies can help reduce greenhouse gas emission with higher conversion efficiencies and other benefits. These technologies are the product of technological change to accumulated through the years. So this concept has also been used and applied to many different energy technology. So there are five major renewable energy sources, and those are solar energy from the sun, geothermal energy from the heat inside the earth, wind energy, biomass from plant, and hydropower from flowing water. They are called renewable energy resources because they are naturally replenished day after day. The sun shine, plant grows, wind blow, and river flow. Renewable energy was the main energy source for most of human history. Throughout the most human history, biomass from plant was main energy source, which was burned for heat and to feed animals used for transportation and flowing. Non-renewable resources began replacing most of renewable energy used in the United States in the early 1800s, and by the early 1900s, fossil fuels were the main source of energy. So, five advanced technologies: solar, geothermal, wind power, biomass, and hydropower. So, what is solar power? Solar power is the conversion of renewable energy from the sunlight into electricity, either directly using photovoltaic or PV directly using concentration solar or a combination. So, solar power works by converting energy from the sun into power. There are two forms of energy generated from the sun for use electricity and heat. Both are generated through the use of solar panels, which range in size from residential rooftop to solar farms. And yes, solar power is a renewable and infinite energy source as long as the sun continues to shine and energy will be released. So, when was solar power discovered? In 1839, French physicist Edmond Becquerel discovered the photovoltaic effects while experimenting with a cell made of metal electrodes in a conducting solution. Three main types of residential solar electronic power system. Grid intertied residential solar power system. A grid intertied solar power system is directly connected to the home and to the traditional electric utility grid. Grid intertied system allow the homeowners to get power from either the home electric system or the utility grid. Switching between the residential system and the grid is seamless. The solar system is consists of solar panels, solar charge controller, battery, inverter, and other accessories. The solar energy will be stored into battery from night use or feed into grid. Grid intertied residential solar power system with battery backup. A grid intertied solar power system is also connected to the traditional utility power grid and adds battery backup to the system. The addition of a battery backup enables the system to balance production and demand that protects against power outage. A grid a grid-tied solar power system with battery backup is also known as a hybrid solar system because it provides a hybrid of the benefits of grid-tied solar. Off-grid solar power system is an off-grid residential system is completely disconnected from the traditional electric power grid. Without a connection to the utility grid, batteries are essential to balance periods of excess production and excess demand. Wind power. The term wind energy and wind power both describe the process by which the wind is used to generate mechanical power or electricity. This mechanical power can be used for specific tasks, such as grading grain or pumping water, or a generator can convert this mechanical power into electricity. Wind energy refers to capturing energy from moving air, wind, and converting it into electricity. Humans have been using wind energy for 1,000 years. So wind energy is produced by the movement of air and converted into power for human use. This is to produce electricity and built in Scotland in 1887. The wind turbine is created by Prof. James Blyth of Anderson's College, Glasgow. Types of power in the Philippines. Windmill. A windmill is defined as the machine that converts the kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical energy. All the blades of windmill always rotate in clockwise direction. The first windmill was designed in the year 1854 by Daniel Halliday from the United States. Windmill is a machine that harnesses the power of the wind. Windmills may be used to grain into flour, to pump water, or to produce electricity. Magnus VAWT. The Magnus Vertical Axis Wind Turbine, or Magnus VAWT, is the first wind turbine in the world that can generate electricity even during typhoons. And this is currently under the research and development. Nowadays, these mechanical driven water pumps are still a good, viable option, but when advanced in technology, there are also a human of other possible wind energy application that revise sharp power of as well. So wind pumps. A wind pump is a type of windmill which is used for pumping water. Wind pumps were used to pump water since at least the 19th century in what is now Afghanistan, Iran, and Pakistan. The use of wind pump became widespread across the Muslim world and later spread to China and India.
Hydropower. Hydropower, also known as a water power, is the use of falling or fast running water to produce electricity or to power machines. This is achieved by converting the gravitational potential or kinetic energy or a water source to produce power. Hydropower is a method of sustainable energy production. Electricity source in the late 19th century, a British-American engineer James Francis developed the first modern water turbine. In 1882, the world's first hydroelectric power plant began operating in the United States along the Fox River in Appleton, Wisconsin. Types of hydropower plants. First is run-of-the-river hydroelectricity. river hydroelectricity or run-of-the-river hydroelectricity is a type of hydroelectric generation plant whereby little or no water storage is provided. Run-of-the-river power plants may have no water storage at all or a limited amount of storage, in which case the storage reservoir is referred to as pondage. Second is the pump storage hydroelectricity. Pump storage hydroelectricity or pump hydroelectric energy storage is a type of hydroelectric energy storage used by electric power system for load balancing. The method stores energy is the form of gravitational potential energy or of water pumped from the lower elevation reservoir to higher elevation. Lastly is the offshore hydropower. Offshore hydropower is a less established but growing group of technologies that use tidal currents of the power of waves to generate electricity from seawater. Biomass energy. Biomass is a plant-based material useful to produce heat or electricity. Examples are wood and wood residues, energy crops, agricultural residues, and waste from industry, farms, and households. Since biomass can be used as a fuel directly, some people use the word biomass and biofuel interchangeably. Use a source of heat energy since man first discovered fire. Biomass system created by Danes investor Jens Davidson. Types of biomass. First is agricultural residues. Second, animal waste. Third is forest residues. Fourth is industrial waste. And lastly, the fifth is solid waste and sewage. Geothermal power. Geothermal energy is the thermal energy in the earth crust which originates from the formation of the planet and form radioactive decay of materials in currently uncertain but possibly roughly equal proportions. The first geothermal electric power generation also took place in Lardillo with the development of the experimental plant in 1904 and invented by French Frieux Ginori Conte. Evaluate the positive and negative aspects of each technology on society. Positive aspect of each technology on society. First is solar energy. Sustainable power source. It can lessen electricity bills and it does not require a lot of maintenance. Second is wind power. It is cost effective, it is a clean fuel source, and it's sustainable. Hydropower. Renewable, reliable, and create lake. Biomass energy. It is renewable, it reduces waste, and it's a reliable sources of energy. And lastly, geothermal. It's good for the environment. It has high efficiency. Negative aspect of each technology in society. Solar energy. It is expensive, dependent on sunlight to variably gather solar energy use a lot of space. Wind power. It produces noise that may causes the disturbance. It poses a threat to wildlife such as birds, and it can cause visual pollution. Hydropower. Limited plant locations, higher initial cost and impact of fish. Biomass energy. It is it is expensive. It requires a lot of space and it can cause some adverse environmental impact. Geothermal. It emits greenhouse gases and high investment costs.